YouTube, Danny Staten, here. On the Daily Dan blog, I got a real piece of crap for you, just like I promised. Today I'm taking a look at number 16, Creatures on the Loose from 1972. And you would not believe how incredible this comic book is, as Gulliver Jones, warrior of Mars, rips off everything Edgar Riceborough ever created. Dave Sunstorm, is that the good stuff? That's right, guys. I couldn't believe it when I picked up this comic book, popped it open, read through it real quick, and realized somebody done ripped off John Carter, Warlord of Mars. And that was from like 1912, so they ripped it off real good. I think we got a little bit of everything in this comic book, and it's one of the first comic books I've ever reviewed that I really want to just throw away when I get done on kind of the ratty, tore-up condition of this piece of crap. So let's bust it open and get this nightmare open as fast as humanly possible. Inside the ripped up, restapled, horrible front cover. You could have won all these prizes for selling crap. Nah, I did that. And you get creature features. Why this is at the front of the comic book, I have no clue. It's always been something that's stuck around somewhere near the middle or back. But if you want to read it, moron, feel free to take time to read that creature feature thing. Oh my God, is that Arnold? Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger in this? Muscle bound, how to grow your muscles ad thing here. I never noticed that was Arnold before. It kind of just blowed my mind. So our crappy comic book starts with a goofy bastard named Gulliver Jones. I wonder who come up with that name, Gulliver. He's walking down the street when some bald-headed genie from the dark side appears, just like that. Well, things happen quick here in this pickly-smelling old comic book from 1972. I'm telling you, this comic book, it don't smell the smell of good old comic book smell. It smells like somebody soaked this thing in a tub of shit and pickles. Oh, it's making me ill and nauseous just smelling this piece of garbage as the bald-headed Buddha comes and visits Gulliver Jones. In his fine dying act, he gives Gulliver Jones a magic amulet that can transport him to different planets like Mars. And is somebody getting a Green Lantern vibe from this comic book? It's a Green Lantern vibe I'm getting. A little bit of John Carter, a Green Lantern. Let's see how many different things we can rip off in this comic book right here, you know. Did Green Lantern come out before 1972? I have to wonder. I think it might have. Yeah, he uses his magic amulet. That's right. He can travel, and the first thing he does is travel to Mars. Because if I had a magic amulet, it could take me anywhere, Mars would be the first place I'd want to go. And then we get probably the best part of the comic book. That's right, the commercials. I've always said it, and I say it now, and I say it then, and I say it now, and I say it again. These are the best part of these crappy old comic books. Is all the really cool commercials. You could have had all them really cool coins. You could have had 10,000 worth of coins for chump change back in the day. Anything you ordered back then is worth a fortune now, but this is the one I really wished I'd ordered. I know Chess Bartel. I know he ordered it. I wished I'd ordered a really cool projector, an 8mm motion picture projector for $6 freaking. Oh my God, why did I not order that? So, in 5 seconds, blip, Gulliver Jones is transported to Mars, where he's involved in the war between the Greens and the Reds. The guy who wrote Avatar decided to make his the Blues. Well, anyway, the Greens and the Reds, the great red genie-looking people versus the lizard green people, they're all at war. They're fighting over Princess Ardala. What? Okay, in full panels, brought to you by the Daily Dan blog. I named her Ardala. It's not her real name. You don't have to correct me, Caucasian Sasquatch. I know you're watching. Anyway, Gulliver Jones takes out the red beast. He slaps him to the side. He does battle riding his ancient lizard dinosaur thing. Red Demon grabbed the girl and takes off. Gulliver Jones is in hot pursuit while he's getting involved in this Martian business that he knows nothing about. It don't really explain that, does it? Yay, more commercials! You could have had any 14 of these hit records for $2.86. By the time I started doing this, they were giving 12 for a penny. And I ordered 12 at my grandma's. I ordered 12 at my brother's. I ordered 12 at my mother's. I ordered 12 to the post office. I had so many freaking records. This comic book really moves fast. So Gulliver rescues Green Girl. Gulliver and Green Girl have villains for each other all of a sudden. I love me some green. He wants to get him a little piece of green as he rides his lizard to the tribal village to get a funky boat for some reason, because you got to take a boat across the river, because you got to get Green Girl back to her people, where she is a princess named Ardala. Nah, she's not named Ardala, I'm just kidding. Oh, I hate this comic book with a purple passion. Oh my God, just when you thought he was going to get Princess Ardala back to her people, up show the gargoyle bat people, because, you know, Mars is full of horrible, horrible things. Gargoyle bat people swooped down and grabbed the Green Girl. He's looking like he's going to have green salad for dinner tonight. Gulliver tries to fight back, but he's choked out like a little punk that he is. All he wants is her. It's continued after the next page. I almost don't want to turn the page to see what happens next. It's so horrible. You can be a draft king back in the 1970s if you ordered this. Something else I didn't mess with. So as the battle rages on in the air, Battle Cat shows up. Battle Cat? Wait a minute. Is this a goddamn He-Man comic book? Why the hell is Battle Cat out there all of a sudden? I haven't seen Battle Cat in this whole comic book. But I swear to God, that looks like Battle Cat over there. Does it not? Does it not? Bird thing's carrying off the girl. Gulliver's doing battle. Gulliver's got it by the leg, but it flips him off. And Gulliver fell. And Gulliver landed on the boat all knocked out with vegetables and fruits and stuff, and now his girl's gone, and in the next exciting issue, River of the Dead, we will find out what happens to Gulliver Jones next. I hope I never find out. And apparently, I got Monsters on the Prowl number 19 right here from the same year, and it wasn't nothing to do with Gulliver Jones, so I guess he didn't make it. And now we get the story of the impossible tunnel. What? A tunnel? This sounds familiar. Before we get started, maybe I should do a shout-out. That's right, YouTube. I always like to do a minute of really cool shout-outs for some of my friends. I want to start with my friend Dave Sunstorm. You know, the Good Stuff guy. Him and his brother Steven Sunstorm. You can find the Good Stuff brothers here on YouTube, as well as my friend Pat McCormick at the Golden Rage of TV, a YouTube classic. Be sure to check out my friend Thrash Pondo Pines. You can see me every other week with Thrash Pondo Pines on Sunday afternoons as we save the world, as well as my friend E. McGill, the unapologetic geek. You can see me on his shows every once in a while on Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to check out my friend Brain Bender's Banner. You can see me there every Saturday night as part of her incredible panel as we discuss interesting topics. Be sure to check out Corey's Comedy Channel, the only YouTube channel with business cards, and my good friend Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Be sure to check out his books, True Cryptid Encounters. Book 1 and Book 2 out now. Halloween's coming up, and you know you want something that's going to scare you. Be sure to check out our other friends like BK on the Air, Big Guys 45s, My Flock is Everywhere Sarah, the Nostalgic Pod Blast Chance, Retro Nerd Girl, and the Life and Sad Endings channel. Hey, Gypsy Road, Eric, Supernatural Highways, the Hair Metal Revolution guy. Special shout out to you, brother. And with that being said, let's get on with the impossible tunnel. I think it's going to involve an octopus. So in full panels, we get the future. That's right. We get the future of Washington, where they developed the greatest tunneling machine that ever existed. A tunneling machine that can create tunnels under oceans, can create tunnels under cities, can create... Hey, that's a real thing. You know, we actually got this thing. This comic book back in the 70s was based on a real thing. I guarantee you that. They was using this tunneling device way long ago. Look at that tunneling under an ocean. Anyway, they go tunneling and they tunneled into an ancient Cthulhu. Oh my God, not Cthulhu again. Not that sumbitch from last week. No, this is just a giant octopus. Oh my God, this comic book. Oh, the condition, it never stops. Well, I should have saw that coming. They bore right through a Cthulhu-looking squid thing, and then they bore into a underground utopia. That's right. They have found the inner world, the inner earth. They found Agartha, I guess, the home of electric fish that power the underworld city with Doms, and the guy's name Omar, and I'm kind of worried. A haunting we will go. A haunting we will go. Oh, I just found what could be a really cool record I should have ordered back in the 1970s, but I didn't have that. You could have had all this really cool stuff if you took time to order stuff in the 1970s. You know, these commercials may have changed a little bit by the time I started getting old enough to read comic books. Some of these ads that I'm seeing in this old comic book, I really didn't see in the ones I was checking out in the later 70s. Well, we should have known it. Big old Cthulhu-looking octopus got all PO'd. He wasn't having it. He climbed up through the tunnel, caved it in, trapping the tunnelers in the inner earth for eternity. Oh, God! And the tunnels are bust, and the rest of the world moves on, while the poor men are lost and forgotten. The end! What a horrible, depressing story in a ripped-up piece of crap comic book. Yep, as we go into the last story in this ripped-up, shredded, horrible condition comic book that I feel like throwing away the minute I finish reviewing it, but I won't. Oh, I should, but I won't. We get the story of the frightened man, and how they call him the frightened man, I don't know, because he's a genius. He's a genius. He's frightened of how bad the world is as guerrilla fighting increases in the Middle East and the Russians are invading. Wow. Reds test new super bomb. Peace talks fail. It's supposed to be the 70s, not 2025. Anyway, this dude's all upset. He's hating the world. He's working on his invention. He figures out how to build Doctor Who's box. That's right. He made him a time machine in a little blue box. Oh, that's a ripoff. Thank God for commercials to save the day in this last 3 pages of this nightmare comic book. You could have had 75 free gifts. Now, why did I miss out on that? You could have ordered coins. You could have been taller. I'm 6'4". I don't really need to be no taller, but you could have drawn cartoons for money. You could have learned to play guitar. You could have grew some really cool facial hair. You could have ordered that giant monster ghost for your door. I had one of them bad boys. Or you just could have ordered backpacks or rockets. Hey, you could have removed ugly blackheads. What the hell? So in full, final, ripped up, wonderfully drawn. I will give credit where credit's due. To be a piece of shit, tore up old comic book. The art in this comic book's been real good. It had the old look of the classic comic books from the early 70s that I love so much. Too bad it smells like pickled shit. As we rip off Doctor Who in his magic blue box, he travels through time. He goes back to the days of the World War with the Russians. He didn't like it. He left. He goes into the future and realizes everybody in the future are a bunch of clowns. But we did survive. So my dismal, disappointing piece of crap comic book ends with Doctor Who traveling to the future, realizing that everybody survived, but we're all miserable and depressed, worshiping walls. Hey, a lot of people wail at a wall, right? Anyway, Doctor Who says I'm going to go even further in the future and find out what happens next. He travels on into the future, afraid to walk outside the door and see what happens next. Judging from the condition of this comic book, I'm almost afraid to see what happens next. Did you ever sell that crap? I did. Whoa, free samples. I should have ordered that. The whole back cover's gone. The pain, the agony, the torment. Let's finish this story. Doctor Who goes into the gladiator future where he finds out that it's done reverted to old gladiator stuff. He really hates that. He's just back in his little time machine. He don't want to deal with gladiators. He pops back to his own time and ends this dismal nightmare of a comic book, daydreaming about the future and what will happen to Earth. The end. Thank God, the end of this piece of garbage. Oh, God. Oh, that just makes me want to cry. And that's my look at Creatures on the Loose from 1971, number 16. It's a piece of ripped up, tore up garbage that smell like pickled dog shit. I can't wait to put it back in a plastic bag, bury it somewhere deep, and never touch it again. What a piece of shit! Be sure to join me next time when I find something probably even freaking worse than this piece of garbage. Plug over.